Sumit Arora, congratulations are in order. You're the happiest man right now in the world because your film Jawan, starring Shah Rukh Khan, is doing wonders at the ticket window, and you are the man behind the film's dialogue. How has been this wait like for you, Sumit, to arrive at this moment which you are rejoicing right now?
It's been a long journey, it's been a journey of almost 15 years. I've been writing since in this world of films and web series or TV for 15 years now. I came from a small town, Meerut, to Bombay to work in films, and obviously, to do work with all these shining stars is a dream for everybody who comes in. Shah Rukh Khan himself has been an example of coming from a place like Delhi and conquering and becoming the King Khan of this world. And so for people like us, who came from a small town, he was actually somebody to look up to and be inspired from. So it's been a long journey. I remember, going to bandstand, and just standing there looking at Mannat, and now finally working with King Khan, working with, going to Mannat for meetings, and working with him, writing lines for him. But it's been a long journey, like it takes a while. You have to be persistent. You have to be constantly work on your craft and not think about fruits as such. Just work on your craft, and then fruits come on their own. That's what my realization has been. Like, I mean, from the release of Stree, which came out 5 years back, exactly 5 years back in 2018, 31st August, I finally got, a window into the world of films where I could show my talent as well. And from Stree onwards, it's been a very rewarding and fruitful journey working with really interesting filmmakers like Kabir Khan, Rajan DK, Zoya Akhtar, Reema Kakti, and now Atlee. Like it's been a really very, very enriching journey for me, and I can't be, more grateful than this moment.
You're writing dialogues for a Shah Rukh Khan film come with a lot of expectations.
Hmm.
Did you feel the pressure to write dialogue that will match Shah Rukh Khan's on-screen persona?
You do see instead of pressure, you look at it as a very interesting challenge. Like I don't look at things which are necessarily pressure as pressure. I look at it, oh, this is something is going to be really interesting. Now let's do it. Like you have to serve, not serve. You have to justify your dialogues have to justify the persona of the star that Shah Rukh Khan is, and and yet they have to hold within the story, within the world of the story, and not look uh, fake, manufactured, or uh, not fitting in the narrative at all. So it's a very interesting journey, to how okay, a dialogue has to go with the star, yet it has to be the character. It cannot ever be out of character. So I looked at it I looked at it as a very interesting challenge thrown at me, and I'm glad people are resonating with the results that we put in to make that happen.
So let's dive straight into the film. But I just want to say, please don't watch this interview if you've not seen the film, because this conversation is going to be full of spoiler
No,
spoilers.
we'll not discuss any spoiler material. We'll try to skirt the spoilers. Yeah.
So the film has many action scenes. My favorite is the one, the metro train sequence. How complex was the dialogue writing process for you, Sumit? Especially when you're writing for a very well choreographed action scenes.
See, when you're writing, a sequence which is very thrilling and action oriented, which has a lot of thrilling elements going on, and it will go into an action sequence as well. You have to know that your dialogue has to also work as action, in the sense, I actually learned this from a very I am forgetting the name. A writer from I was collaborating with a writer from US once, and he said, so my dialogue has to be action, and I did not understand what he meant by that. uh, then I realized what he means is dialogue should not place the story as it is. Dialogue should also constantly move the story forward. It should feel like a bullet to you. Like each dialogue should feel like it's bullet. It's moving forward. It's taking the story forward. Uh, so I learned that from him, and I think whenever I'm writing a sequence which is tight, which is action oriented, which is thrilling, I look at it. Okay, every dialogue also has to go through like a bullet. Like a zip. Like it's not static. It's not standing there and saying, "Oh, nice, nice thing." So it has to move forward. uh, so that's how I approached writing dialogues for those sequences.
There are many bullets in the film, then I must say. Uh, But then, how big fan are you of Alia Bhatt? Like, what inspired you to write these lines? Chahiye kya when SRK says Alia Bhatt? Was it pre-decided or you decided that on the location?
No, that was, SRK sir and me, chatting both what it should be. I was honestly a little apprehensive about Alia Bhatt, and SRK sir was like, no, it's nice. Let's keep it, uh, it'll be nice. So it was his insistence that we did, that Alia Bhatt line. And I'm glad that, everybody liked that. And I've seen people, chuckling on that line all over. I've been to Gaiety Galaxy, I've been to all the theaters, PVR and different kind of theaters. And everybody actually reacts on the same things in different ways at every theater. I've seen at this dialogue, at the other dialogues that people like. I've seen people erupting in a similar way all across. So yeah.
So then, maybe would you like to tell us maybe briefly about, was Kaveri Amma in the film was a tribute to Kaveri Amma from Swadesh?
That was already in the screenplay that I received from the director Atlee. I think he will be the right person to answer that question. A lot of people I know have the curiosity, but I think the best person to answer that question will be Atlee himself.
Did you first read the screenplay, or was it the first you had the narration and then you read the screenplay?
I've known the director since almost 3 years. I'd met him even before he had a script, but we met generally to we should work together on something. That was the idea. But at that point, there was no script. He had a vague idea that he's starting his Hindi film journey, and he was thinking about what to do about, which kind of story to pick from. And then I got busy with something else, and I think he got busy writing a screenplay, and we were out of touch for a while. And then he approached me, almost 3 years back from now for, okay, I'm making my Hindi film. I have the screenplay ready. I'm looking for dialogues, and I think, finally it's time that we work together. And he sent me the script, and then I went to meet him for a narration. So it happened like, I think I got a narration first, and then I read the script, the screenplay. And I think I was completely taken in by the world that he had built. He has a great sense of, visuals, storytelling and spectacle. I was completely taken in by the world and how pacey it was. And I was like, I have to be part of this story, and I have to, I will do my best to give words to this world. So that was a journey. Yeah.
So then, now the question whose answer everybody wants to know. Would you please like to talk to us or share the backstory of how you came up with these lines, "Bete ko haar lagane se pehle"? I've read that this was not part of the script, and you wrote
No,
this.
it was. See, it's not like it's not part of the script. It is a part of the script, But see, on the set, you keep thinking of newer things as well, while you are shooting. That's why I was on the set quite a lot in this shoot, in this film. So this line was written on the set, by me, because it was felt that we need a line there, for the father character to say to the villain, as you must have seen the film, and you see that moment. So it was felt that he should say something to the other character at that point. And it was the most obvious thing. I don't think I even thought for more than 2 minutes for this. It just came out. I was asked what should be the line this Shah Rukh Sir's character should speak, Vikram Rathor's character should tell this character when he's confronting him. And immediately this came, because at that moment, if you have seen the film, I will not spoil the film for people who have,
Yeah.
but I will not spoil the film for people who have not seen the film. But if you see that moment, that character, who says that line, it will feel the most apt thing that he should say to the villain at that point.
What was Shah Rukh Khan's reaction to this?
No, we both, all three of us, the director, Shah Rukh sir, and me were standing, and we were discussing what should be the line. And I said this line, and even the first, obviously, I looked at the director for the approval, and the director also felt, this is the right thing that this character should say to this character. And even then, sir also felt, yeah, this sounds correct. Let's take it, and then let's see how it sounds. And then he gave a take. All of us had goosebumps, because that line in that moment of the film really fits very well. I mean, there could not have been any other line, I feel, in that moment. And then everybody, we were like, this is it. And we finalized, this line fits, and let's go ahead and move forward from here on.
Did you have any idea that this will become a great meme in
No, not at all. Nobody. I mean, we knew that the line has come out very well, but the line will resonate and it will really become, so talked about. We never thought so.
there are many such lines in the film. So then, what approach you took while writing dialogues for SRK's both character, and how easy was it for you to come up with these interesting lines like मैं कौन हूँ पता नहीं और जब मैं विलन बनता हूँ तो मेरे सामने कोई हीरो नहीं टिकता. It sounds like you're talking about the real SRK here.
So that line, that "Jab main villain banta hu" line, of course, as you said, it fits SRK, and I think that line I really wanted to use in that sequence because he was trying to. I mean, if that moment felt like uh, a correct moment to say this line because of the Shah Rukh sir's history of playing those negative shades characters, like in Dar, in Bazigar. I thought it's a head tip to those characters, okay, and people have actually loved him a lot in those characters, when he plays this really even Dawn, for example, like people have really loved him playing those negative shade kind of lead characters. And I felt, and nobody has been loved so much as him in those characters, I feel. So I felt that line that जब मैं villain बनता हूँ ना, तो कोई hero मेरे सामने टिक नहीं सकता, felt like the line that I could not have missed writing at that moment.
Nothing you had to.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect tribute. So then, while writing dialogues for Jawan, Sumit, which books were you reading or the movies or series you were watching? What was your
No,
research like?
so I was definitely not reading books because this film was like a film. So I had to watch. I mean, I watched all of our director Atlee's film, all his 4 films because I had to catch his meter. It's important when you're working with any maker. Because every maker, every filmmaker has its own meter and rhythm. So I, as a writer, and the director have to be in sync. So to be in sync, and it was my first film with director Atlee. So I had to be in sync. I had to watch his earlier films. Now because we have worked together, now it becomes the next film will be in sync. We were in sync in this film only because of the previous films that I saw of his. That made me aware of his syntax, his grammar, his language, his meter, his rhythm, his beats. And I think that's how I could go into this world and gel with his vision pretty easily.
You just said about his syntax. Could you please like to talk to us more about writing dialogue for movies and the meter that you've spoken about? That that energy that need to be matched with director of a writer while writing a script.
Yeah.
Could you please talk to us about that?
So see, I think every filmmaker, like for example, when I work with Kabir Khan, we are constantly collaborating. Kabir and me have did dialogues on 83. Now I've written his next film, Chandu Champion. So when I'm working with any director, let's say Kabir Khan, so there is a way that he operates. There is a way that he thinks of a scene. There's a way that he thinks of a moment, creating a moment. And there is a way that writer also thinks of a moment. But eventually the director is the king. Director is the captain of the ship. He has to be the one who will eventually make it. So you have to get your vision and director's vision in the same line. So and director, because he's the captain of the ship, so eventually you have to say, this is how I think, and now how can I bridge it with the director's vision? So I think, and every filmmaker will have a different way of presenting a moment, shooting
You
up.
just said about the syntax. Basically,
Yeah.
the phrases
So
that
this is a syntax. Syntax is what, like it's like a fabric. It's like how
the
how
language
different
is language is
different fashion designers will
yeah.
cut the same cloth in a different way and make a different kind of a lehenga. They will eventually make.
How's at least fashion sense is different to say Kabir Khan?
No, see, I mean, they are both really, really, I mean, I love working with both of them. They're really talented, and big, big filmmakers, big scale filmmakers. One thing which is common, which is the common ground that I find between both of them is that they don't believe in dialogue bazi for the sake of it.
Okay.
Like that's why you will not see in Jawan you stop the film and you're doing dialogue bazi, right? Which is easily possible. You have such a big star, you can get tempted and just write five dialogues for the sake of it. But you never see that. The film is constantly flowing. Yet you have, these things thrown in for you, for the audience, these dialogues to chew in. But the film is never stopping. So both Kabir and Atlee believe in this kind of filmmaking, that story should constantly move, film should constantly move, dialogues should be punchy, but they should not come in the way of the speed of the film. Which I really find very interesting and helpful, because even I don't believe in that kind of a dialogue bazi. Although I'm known for my dialogues, but I don't believe in the dialogue bazi of a kind where you're just stopping the film and doing dialogue bazi. It should constantly move the film, which is what I said in the initial part of the conversation, that dialogue is like a action, like a bullet. It has to constantly move it forward and not stop the film.
Sumit, you are not just a writer, you also been directing. You
Yeah,
directed 4 episodes of the
little things.
popular Netflix show Little Things.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Sumit Arora directing a full-length feature film?
Soon. I think I've been planning that since a while, just that I get busy with writing, all these, for all these amazing filmmakers. Uh, but now I think next year, hopefully my script is almost ready. And next year I'm hoping to take my films on the floor.
Sumit, many, many, many congratulations. More
Thank
power
you.
to you.
Thank you,
Looking
Vishal.
forward to whatever you do next or write next. Thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vishal.